It is dawn, and a new day begins. Across the land, a wake-up call is heard, and in the towns and cities of America, entrepreneurs rise to the call. Time for new developments, new visions, new growth. It is time to move America forward.
Welcome to our series, Moving America Forward. Each week we'll be focusing on America's entrepreneurs as they take us to new roads, new opportunities, new ways to fill the gaps left by today's failing companies. Our series will be looking at that and a lot more. So come with me and watch as the entrepreneurs of our nation move into the future. I'm William Shatner, and you're watching Moving America Forward.
And I'm Doug Llewellyn here in our studios in Los Angeles with our guests, who are two extraordinary women who happen to be the co-founders of a really unique law firm headquartered in Short Hills, New Jersey. The firm is Nukk Freeman Cerra, and they are employment attorneys. And I'd like you to meet them now. On my left, the co-founder and the CEO of the firm is Katherin Nukk Freeman, and on her left, co-founder and president of the firm, Suzanne Cerra. Katherin, let me just point out, a little while ago, you had a chance to actually chat with William Shatner and answer a few questions. Let's take a look at that conversation and see how it went, and then we'll come back and get into this interview in depth, okay?
Okay, great.
I know you've been successful, and to make that happen takes a good organization. Tell me how you would describe your organization and what they do to help move America forward.
Mr. Shatner, our organization is a woman-owned law firm dedicated to protecting businesses from employee relations issues that could result in employee disputes and litigation. Our mission is to prevent that litigation before it happens. However, when litigation does occur, as it inevitably will from time to time, we are here to vigorously defend our clients. We've been highly successful due to our innovative strategies and our close client relationships. And that, Mr. Shatner, is how we are helping businesses and at the same time helping America to move forward.
Well, that was very interesting indeed. You sound like you've got something going here. One thing I didn't point out that I wanted to is Inc. magazine pointed out that you are number 536 on their list of the fastest growing companies in the United States. And they rank the top 5,000, and you're 536 for a law firm founded in early January of 2006, right?
Exactly.
By the two of you.
Right. Yes.
Well, you must be doing something right, obviously. I know that you are seasoned attorneys. You both worked for other big law firms in the New York metropolitan area before you found this. What made you think that this kind of a firm was the ideal thing for you two to start?
Well, from the preventative standpoint, as I mentioned with Mr. Shatner, our firm saw a real need for businesses who wanted to turn to counsel to not just address and clean up any matters through litigation,
right,
but really to help them prevent that litigation by making sure they have policies in place and procedures in place and they've got the right counseling to handle really difficult employment-related issues.
I really guess my question is, and this will show you how ignorant I am of all the law firms, are there a lot of law firms that specialize in employment situations, or are you one of the rare ones?
Well, I'd say we actually are one of the rare ones. There are many regional firms that have, large firms that have employment law groups within their firm.
Okay.
There are a few national firms that specialize exclusively in employment law. We are one of the few firms in the New Jersey, New York area that specialize exclusively in employment law.
All right, let's take a look at the kind of services you provide. What do you deal with in your area of the law?
Well, our firm is broken down into 6 practice areas, and one of the key practice areas is providing training to companies of all sizes, whether it's the Fortune 50 companies or the smaller startup businesses. We go out, we train their workforces, their managers from executive management down on everything from preventing workplace harassment and discrimination. For example, a number of states like California, New Jersey, Connecticut essentially require employers to do that type of training, and companies who don't do that are not only not complying with statutes that are in place, but they're also eliminating any defense they might have if they're sued by an employee for wrongful termination, harassment, discrimination. They can't show that they took the right steps to try to eradicate harassment, discrimination in the workplace and to really inform their employees of their responsibilities.
So to train them, that's an interesting term. You're really educating.
You are.
We are.
That probably is even a
right.
better term to use.
You're right.
How do you do that? What do you do?
Well, we offer various types of training depending on what the client needs. A lot of our larger organizations hire us to come in and actually do live in-person training for the management team. We actually go out, and for our companies that are headquartered in our area and have businesses all throughout the country, we actually go out and we do live in-person training sessions with the management team where we educate them about what the laws are, kind of show them where the lines are drawn, and give them real-life situations that they might face in the workplace to try to give them the tools that they need to help comply with all the various laws that are out there.
You know, while we're on the subject, give me a real life situation that you would bring up to the employees of a typical company.
Well, one of the real life risks to be aware of when we're training, and it's one of the first things we address when we're training managers, is that managers in many states are on the front line. And that means if their employer gets sued for harassment or discrimination, the manager will get sued as a co-defendant, which means they can be personally liable. And at the end of the day, there could be a determination that the company is responsible for X $100,000 because of the harassment discrimination, and senior manager who didn't stop the harassment from occurring is responsible for Y $100,000. So we really try to hit it home and make sure everybody understands their role to play in protecting the business and eliminating these types of issues so that companies can really focus on what they do best, which is their particular niche, their product, their service.
And this is the kind of thing a lot of those people might not be aware of, right? They just totally don't get it. But once you do this, it makes them aware of it.
Right. Well, I mean, really one of our roles with our clients is that, as you probably know, running a business in this day and age is extremely challenging because not only are you focusing on growing of the business and bringing your product to the next level, but you're also required as a business to stay current with all these various compliance issues. So our job really for our clients is to be there to support them, to help them navigate really the maze of compliance issues that they face so that, as Katherin said, they can focus on the important thing, which is actually running and growing their business.
You also work in the area of policy and document preparation.
Yes.
Tell me what that is.
Sure. This really varies depending on which clients we're doing this for. And as we mentioned, we service large clients as well as startups and mid-sized companies. So for our large clients who have in-house attorneys and human resources professionals, we're typically reviewing their policies and documents to make sure that they're compliant and state-of-the-art and innovative. For our smaller and our mid-sized companies who don't have the resources to develop their own policies, we're telling them what policies they need to have in place. We're telling them that they should have an employee handbook, non-competition agreements, arbitration agreements, and then we're actually helping them create those policies, draft them, and actually implement them to their employees. So it's more of a hands-on approach with some of the smaller and mid-sized clients.
Workplace investigations. That's an intriguing sounding phrase. What does that involve?
Well, it can involve one of two things. Either we have a client who wants to conduct the investigation on their own, but they want to make sure that they're dotting their I's, they're crossing their T's. So we work with them behind the scenes to help script out interviews, help really detail who they should speak with first, what other witnesses they should talk to, how they should really compose their reports. So we'll help them from the outside. Sometimes we'll also be asked, usually through referrals by other attorneys who represent clients, to bring us in as the neutral, independent fact finder because we haven't represented the business before. We see it clearly, objectively, and then we go in and we conduct the investigation ourselves, knowing that we would likely be the number one witness if the case were to go to trial.
I should point out, you are litigation attorneys as well, right? You will represent the company if the case does go to court.
Absolutely.
But your big focus is trying to help avoid that. Isn't that really the bottom line there?
That's really our passion, and
Yeah.
that's the mission of our firm. We really started the firm because, again, we really believe, as our tagline says, we team with employers to build a better business and really try to avoid those types of issues.
Right, and that being said, I mean, we all did start our careers as litigators because the bulk of the work at the traditional law firm is representing clients after they're sued, and we felt that there was a need for firms to go out and be more proactive with their clients, to try to encourage them to devote those resources earlier on in the process to try to head off problems and avoid the litigation. But needless to say, if and when a client does face litigation, we are all trained to vigorously defend them.
And it's interesting, your firm has attracted a lot of women who come to work for you. Obviously, this is an area that women are very good at. Do you feel that you're better at doing it than men?
You know what? We feel like we're very good at it.
Yeah.
And not to compare, but you're exactly right. One of the things I think that sets our firm apart is not only do we have excellent attorneys who really know this area of the law inside and out, but they have excellent interpersonal skills. So when you have business owners, business professionals, human resources people calling you, we really put ourselves in their shoes, try to understand their business issues, their business operations, and give them legal advice that really intertwines with those business issues. And many lawyers aren't focused on doing that and aren't naturally good at it, and we make sure we hire those who are.
Audits, that's another one of your areas. And what does that really mean?
That is another way that employers can really take the right steps to make sure they're in compliance with the myriad of laws Suzanne was talking about earlier. And really, a company could come to us, either they're a startup company that wants to make sure all their employment practices are in the right place, or it could be a company that's looking to go public, and again, they want to make sure they don't have any skeletons in the closet, or a company that's just very proactive. What we'll do is we'll go in, we'll examine how they operate, how they hire people, how they fire people, how they evaluate people's performance. Are they complying with the various medical leave laws? Are they paying people appropriately under the wage and hour laws? And we'll have checklists that walk us through each process this company is taking, and then we'll devise recommendations for them if they're not compliant in certain areas as to what they can do to get themselves in the best possible position.
And then encourage them to devote resources to fix the problems.
Exactly.
Very interesting indeed. There's so much to cover in this area. There's a lot
there is.
companies have to watch out for, isn't it?
And that's one of the things we attribute our growth to, particularly in the area that we practice. There are so many laws for companies to keep up with. They really need to rely on outside professionals who are experts in the area.
That makes sense. What are your goals for your firm? You're growing so fast, so rapidly. What do you see? What do you want to do?
We are. Well, we obviously have economic projections. The firm, as you mentioned, we started just less than 5 years ago, and we've already, our revenues have grown by about 600%. We've gone from the two of us to we now have 18 attorneys, and we're looking to continue that growth, but most importantly, we're looking to maintain the culture that we've created in our firm, which I think is one of the reasons we've grown so quickly. Katherin and I have spent a lot of time thinking strategically about the type of workplace that we want to have for our employees, and the positive climate that we've created for the employees and the team approach, that's really trickled down to the clients. And it's one of the reasons why I think we've continued to grow so successfully. We really have established very long-term relationships with our clients, and at the end of the day, that's really our goal, is to continue to model this workplace and to really be a beacon for a role model for other firms out there.
Well, it's a great story to hear, and thank you so much for telling us.
Thank you so much for having us.
I'm William Shatner, and you're watching Moving America Forward.
This organization represents companies across our great nation that embody the spirit, dedication, know-how, and can-do attitude which has made America the great nation it is today. And now let's present the Keeping America Strong Award.
Now it's my honor to present this prestigious award to Katherin Nukk Freeman and Suzanne Cerra for the outstanding work that these ladies are doing to help keep America moving forward. Congratulations.
Thank
you so much. We would just like to say, thank you to you and the show for recognizing the firm, and we would like to accept this on behalf of our wonderful team and our families who've supported us. Really, we're here today because of them. So thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
I'm William Shatner, and for all of us at Moving America Forward, thanks for watching.